Okay, guys, welcome to your first Milestones Review video. This is going to be over transformations. We're just going to be looking at the 4 transformations to start off with. We're not going too far in depth with them, but we are going to just kind of hit the stuff that we need to remember and stuff that we need to review. The first transformation that we're going to look at is translations. Then we go on to reflections. And then after that, we're going to look at rotations and dilations. Okay, so we're going to look at how all of those, we're going to look at how those change in the coordinate plane and how they change shapes and points and figures and that sort of stuff. Okay, the first question I wanted to look at here, and this just goes to the milestones. Okay, there's going to be questions that you have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Okay, or you know little about what they're talking about. You've never seen the notation before. This question says triangle XYZ was obtained from triangle ABC by a rotation around the point P. Okay, we know what rotations are. We're going around the point P. Which indicates the correspondence of the vertices. You might not know what correspondence means. You might not know what vertices means. I hope that you do. But you know, what if you didn't know what those 2 words meant? And then you look down at your multiple choice answers and you haven't seen this notation before. You got like arrows, like letters pointing to arrows. You know, I think you guys, you need to just don't be scared of the notation. Like if you have no idea how to answer a question, I think you know more than you think you do. All right, like this arrow right here, it just means that A is going to X. All right, so when we rotate that triangle ABC, is A going on to the X? You know, that's what this is saying. You know, then it's saying is B going on to Y, is C going on to Z. That's all that this is saying. So I think you'd be able to reason through this pretty quick. It's not A, because A is not corresponding with X. Okay, so we can go ahead and get rid of C as well, because that says A is corresponding with X. Now it's between B and D. Now you have a 50-50 shot of getting it right. A is corresponding with which angle? It's going to be with Y. Okay, so that A goes right on top of Y. So even if you don't know what some of the words mean, or even if the notation, you haven't seen it before, just use your logic. That's what we've been doing this year. It's not about the answer you get. It's about the process that you use to get it. Okay, it's about using that logic. That's why math is important. Okay, let's move on to the first one. It's translations. Okay, a translation is just a slide. Okay, translate has SL in it. Slide has an SL in it. All right. Okay, so when you are translating, it is going to look the exact same. Whether you're translating a shape, a point, whatever, it is going to look the exact same. The only thing that's different is where it is on your piece of paper. Okay, now you need to know a few things how to do. You need to know how to write a rule, a translation rule. You need to know how to read a translation rule. All right, now the one thing that gets a little bit tricky here is you are going to want to go from the original shape to the image. Okay, and that's right there, that's showing yes, translation has an SL in it. SL means slide. Okay, so we want to go from the original image to the original figure, which is known as the original, to the image. And we write this is the notation that we use. We say for every X and Y that is in our shape, we translate it such that X is going to be adding or subtracting a number, and then Y is going to be adding or subtracting a number. So it's like every single point that is in that figure, you're either going to be adding or subtracting to get to the other figure. Okay, and guys, if you can remember, X is going first in an ordered pair. So we've been dealing a lot with rise over run, in which you're talking about how far up and down you go versus how far left to right you go. Well, this is different. All right, this is not slope. This is not rate of change. You are going to figure out how many times to the right or left you go first, because that's your x-axis, and then how many times up or down you're going to go. All right, so you know, if it's up, you're going to put positive. If it's down, you're going to put negative. If it's right, you put positive. If it's left, you put negative. Guys, you're only looking for 4 things here. You're only looking for 2 signs. You're looking for 2 numbers. Now, if you went from the blue triangle to the black triangle, your numbers would be right. It's just the signs would be wrong. You are going to go from the black triangle to the blue triangle because it does not have the prime symbol. All right, so you're going to go over 2 times, and you're going to go down 1. So that would be X plus 2, Y minus 1. We went from the black to the blue because the blue triangle has the prime symbols on it. That means that is the image. So you don't look at it as right to left, all right? It has nothing to do with that. It so happens in these first 2 questions you are going from the left one to the right one, but the triangle on the left in both cases does not have the prime marks. All right, does not, which suggests it's the original shape. So we're going to go. I'm just going to go in the second for question number 2. I'm just going to go from n to n prime. Now, what you do not want to do is go from n over to the right 2 and then up 1. Like, that's not what you want to do, because that angle does not go with that angle. You know, N does not go with L. All right, you're not going from the one angle to the, or one point to the next, or one point to the very closest one. You got to go from N all the way to N prime, and you're going to do so. You're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Count the spaces, not the dots. And you are going to go up twice. So that would be x plus 6, and then since you're going up, it would be y plus 2. All right, so that is how you would write a rule based upon whether you're given the shape, whether you're given the translation. That's how you describe the rule. It's describing what's happening with the shape. You're just sliding it over. All right, it's not going to look backwards, it's not going to look upside down or anything like that. All right. To me, translation is like the easiest one, but it's the notation that's a little bit hard. As soon as you get past the notation, it's not that bad. All right, number 3, we're going backwards. We have a triangle here. It's QRS, and it's telling us that the rule is x plus 1, y minus 2. So every point that is in that triangle, you're going to go plus 1 to the right. So you're going to go to the right 1, and then you're going to go down 2. So make sure you understand what the question is asking you here. It's saying, what are the vertices? Or what are the coordinates of the new triangle? So you're asking for what is the new ordered pairs, all right? If you take Q, you're going to the right 1 and down 2. From R, you're going to go the right 1, down 2. From S, you're going to go the right 1 and down 2. And then you're going to draw your triangle, and you come up with your new ordered pairs, all right? It looks like Q, it's hard for me to see this, it looks like it's at -4, +3, is that right? Q prime is going to be at -4, +3, and then let's see, -4, +3, and then we're going to say R prime is going to be at -4, +4, or -4, 0. No, that's S. That should say S. So S is -4, 0, and then R is going to be at S